Okay, hi everybody. I'm back. This is Matt from Vetter Software. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm going to send you a chat message just to be certain. Someone could let me know, that'd be great. I'm also apologize in advance. I'm really sick, so I'm coughing a lot, and I apologize if let's just say I don't sound the most charming this morning. And I apologize in advance, but I'm our office hours guy. Okay, great. Thanks for everybody that you can hear me. I just don't sound well, and I beg your consideration there. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody just in case here. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and send them in via chat. Or when we're done, go ahead and unmute yourself kind of at the end for a quick Q&A. So a lot of happenings this week. Well, as of today, or I think as of yesterday, the QuickBooks integration is live. And a quick review of some of the parameters with QuickBooks. And let me do a share screen now so I can show you the document that I showed last week. I'm going to pull this up here. And hopefully you guys can see this. This is how to configure QuickBooks. This was attached to the office hour email that I sent to everybody, and it's also in the customer it is in the customer community now. And this is just the process of how you set up the initial QuickBooks configuration, right? Everybody, in terms of the service items available, a number of people have been emailing us because QuickBooks allows for a variety of service items. And in this case, we only take services, right? So the only item we're going to be able to import from, if you look at number 3 right here, is the service account field. And I'm highlighting it right now, and I'm putting it in bold. That's the key. You might have 5 different service accounts, but the way the integration works, and I'm highlighting some more here. This is the key part for the entire integration. Is the income field is the default account that we will use when we create inventory in your QuickBooks account. The values are pulled from your chart of accounts. All items that have the category type of income in detailed type of sale of product income will be available for the integration. When it comes to service items, the default account that the service account field is the default account that we use as a catch-all. In order to make the integration work, we need to be able to, I guess for want of a better word, kind of standardize what we're pulling from. And this may require some of you to maybe change the name of your service items a little bit, but the benefits will be far greater. We just simply can't anticipate what everybody's individual services fields are named. So we appreciate everyone's consideration for this. Again, it will pull all data moving forward, not anything from the past. It's going to sync every hour, for every financial transaction, your clients and your in your inventory. The only thing it will not pull from, will not sync with, are estimates, simply because they are, by definition, an estimate and not a payment. Once you have all that information, you'll be able to configure your reports in QuickBooks for your accounting purposes any way you like. Okay? And if you have any further questions on how to set this up initially, we haven't had too many of these. Please, call our support line directly, 844-4VETTER, and that should hopefully address any concerns, questions you may have there. Some people were asking too if there's a charge, and this is entirely free. It's included with your subscription in an effort just to add greater value to it. And that's obviously our goal moving forward with everything we do. Let me check really quickly if there's any questions right now. We're doing good. Pardon me. Excuse me. Let me go ahead now. I'm going to close this document and focus on our new feature, which is the letter templates. I'm sorry, the email templates. I'm gonna mute somebody here. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I had to mute somebody there. Now, this feature is going live tonight. So right now, I'm looking in our engineering QA account called Vetter Software Palace. Now, the engineering QA account has it has a lot of weird data in here. So please don't fixate on what you see in here. But I'd like to show you just very simply how this feature works. Now, previously, people have asked us for quite a while. We would like the ability to configure our outgoing communications, whether it is a appointment confirmation, right? Or it is a reminder email, or the email that's associated with an invoice, or birthday emails, or what have you. Prior to this, Vetter had a default script in there. And you could have always edited the default script, but that's obviously tedious and not efficient. Now you have the ability to configure, or in your case, customize literally every outgoing message. So, assuming there's not a natural disaster, but I shouldn't say that too lightly. Where I live in California, we've had quite a few lately. Then again, you people on the East Coast are digging out of blizzards, but you get what I mean. This will be in the product tomorrow, and it's very simple. We'll go to settings, and under configurations, you're going to find a new category called View Email Defaults. And what you'll do is you'll press we have so many configurations now we have to double up. You click on the pull-down bar, so it's kind of a layer of configurations. You hit View Email Defaults. Now, there are 16, and presently there are 16 different emails that can come out of Vetter, or electronic communications. So, if you're in an estimate or an invoice where it says export, via email, or medical note, or reminder, or what have you, there's always something there, and there's a default. Now there's 16 here, ranging from, the birthday email. We've even included boarding emails, any certificate, rabies, vaccination, etc. The checkout field, from the scheduler or the clinic census, all the way down to, a statement, that you mail out to people at the end of the month, to reminders, medical notes, what have you. You now have the ability to configure this, and it's really easy to do. We're going to it's a two-step process. You'll come to here, and you'll click the little pencil for edit, and it's going to say then, right now it says system default. So yours are all going to say, it's going to have the system default, what's in there. Oh, happy birthday, Fluffy, or what have you, And you're all familiar with that language. You now have the ability, just by clicking here, to drop in any one of these letters, which is the message for this particular, electronic communication. Now, where do we create these messages? Well, simultaneously, we've enhanced our letters. So we are leveraging the technology in the letter formats to go ahead, and I'm going to do let's say a sample. Let's say, let's call it appointment confirmation email. Appointment confirmation. And you create these in your letter templates. And if you'll notice, in the letter templates themselves, we've added even more fields now. We've added appointment information, date, note, time, boarding, right? For those of you using the boarding module. And billing, these had never been there before. Okay? The other things have always been there before, clinic information, content snippets, but these are 3 big areas. We've added a few more little things on some of the pull downs. And remember, if you send a letter from a medical note, once you're in the medical note, you can still include all the information from the SOAP and patient information. And this is relatively new too. We also have the ability to include the patient reminders in any note, email going out. So, for example, and let me just pause really quickly to see if there's any questions. No? Okay, we're doing well. Great. Right now it says, thanks for making an appointment, blah, 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 blah. Now you can configure this now. It could be, let's do this, like letter information, title, right date, dear, right, and a lot of you are familiar with this here, dear owner, first name, space, last name, comma, right, thanks for scheduling, right, an appointment on, right here, date, at, time, and this would go out, for example, as the confirmation right away. Please be sure, now you can add other things, to arrive 15 minutes early to complete, right, any necessary paperwork. And by the way, I did this on purpose, this mistake. When we enhanced, excuse me. Sorry about that. Excuse me. When we enhanced letters a few months ago, we had initially not brought over the spell check ability or the error recognition ability. And a lot of clinics right away, how should I say, pointedly reminded us about that. As a former English teacher of 20 years, I always hope that people carry dictionaries with them and become master spellers, but I understand how the modern world works with technology. So we recently, if you may have noticed, added this enhancement about a week ago. So now if you write a spelling mistake, it'll at least let you know. Completing necessary paperwork, please, and the one thing I would say with this is a great way to include advertising and marketing. Every one of these communications is a chance for you to market your business. Look, speaking from personal experience, we're all inundated with oodles and oodles of electronic communications. And I quickly, my reflex reaction is default reaction is delete most of them that I receive. But I, like any consumer, I'm very keen to specials or offers, right? And as soon as I notice that certain vendors with whom I interact, right, as soon as I notice that they are proactive in promoting their business with specials or discounts, I will read all said communications. It's human nature. It's how we work, right? Look, we work on a simple level. Humans work out of necessity, pardon my philosophizing here, and we do what's necessary to us in that moment. And when I start to notice somebody might say, be sure to refer a friend and receive 10% off your next visit. Something along that line. I'm sure you can word it a bit more eloquently or diplomatically than me. I guarantee you, when I start seeing things like this, I'm sure you do too, I read those email communications much more often. It's just human nature. And it's a chance, or refer us on Yelp or, or Facebook or what have you. You get the idea. Use these communications as a way to promote your business. Maybe it's say, hey, thank you for making an appointment at, I'm picking a random city right now, to the most highly rated clinic in Tucson, Arizona. Check out our ratings on Google reviews or Yelp, right? I'm sure a lot of you have great ratings out there in the social media field. And on a personal level, as much as I do not like social media, it's here to stay. Use these communications as a way to advertise and promote what's great about you guys. Right now, you have a chance to do that. Then we just say thank you, right? And boom, and you add the rest. You know how to do this now stuff. So I hit save, right? And so now what's nice is if I go back to my configurations, I simply come to here. Oops, my email defaults, right? And I'll come to here and say, hey, appointment reminder. Instead of the system default, let's use the appointment confirmation one right there. Boom. Now that will go out automatically then when I make an appointment. Okay. Let me check to see if there's any questions. No, we're doing well. So this is really easy to use. And I think, again, it's easy for me to say because I don't run your business, but, full disclosure here, and my boss knows this too. I own I'm a former teacher of 20 years. I own an SAT test prep company on the side. I have somebody manage it and run it because I live better here, but I always take advantage of all email communications. I'm very, keen to take advantage of technology here. And any little chance I have in an email communication to promote my business above and beyond an appointment confirmation or a birthday email. Hey, happy birthday. Bring in Fluffy for a free nail trim along with a full appointment or something like that. People eat this up. Speaking from experience, and I appreciate your consideration as I elaborate here a little. Now, it's very simple. Then I go to the schedule, and I'm sorry, this is our whole engineering team. It's pretty large here. And I'm going to go under Jeff. You guys all know Jeff Ulrich. We have a lot of accounts here. And I go to make an appointment, right? And I do come to here. I come next, right? Notice here the appointment confirmation email, right? So I right now I have no confirmation, but I could easily. It's out of our demo account. We don't do any emailing. That's why it says no confirmation. But here it is, right here. So whether you're going to export an invoice, a medical note, or even a time of when you use the checkout feature, right? A checkout email. Hey, please find enclosed all the documents. You're going to see the message in advance. It's really neat, right? It pulls in all the information you need right here from the appointment. I hit save, right? And this would then get emailed out. Okay. It's pretty straightforward to use. So 2 things to take from here. One is the letter templates have become even more enhanced. Let me go to appointment confirmation here. As you can see, the ability to pull in boarding, billing, right? And patient reminders and appointment information is really nice. Then you have the ability from anywhere in the software, right, where we send a message. I'm sorry, like billing, for example, a classic one is, right? Let's send out an invoice. Export, right? Email invoice. Now, I've already created an invoice email. I did this last night. Here it is. Thanks for visiting. Please find attached your invoice for the amount of, well, I haven't recorded the payment, so the payment's not in there, but right away, invoice 2625. And I even signed it there, Matt Zahner. I like to pretend, I'm a doctor. I play one on television at least. Sorry. I'm being punished there for my hubris. And see how it pulls in 2625. So no matter where I go, anywhere in the software, right, I want to export a medical note, right? Same kind of thing. Export wherever you have that option. Email note, right? Well, I only created an invoice email for medical note, but you get the same thing. Please find your medical note attached. And the way I do that, hey, I want to have a medical note email again. I come to configurations, do email default, and I say, what do I have for medical notes? Why is there, invoice email, huh? Right, and I can also click on this right here to take a quick look at it, right? So I don't need to go automatically to my letters. I can click on it right there wherever there's a red, and I can edit it there. And I don't like that one. Well, I can choose a different one, right? Pretty straightforward. But it's going to, again, this is another chance to improve client relations, provide better and more precise information, and to, right, market your clinic really for free in a way. And I hope this is helpful. It took a while to build. It's a lot easier, a lot tougher to build than one would think. And I'm sure that once it's released, we're going to get, as always, dozens of suggestions to how to enhance it. And of course, that's something we always will do. Just one area I want to make, let me pause for questions. I'm going to show you we're fine. I'm going to show you one other thing to be aware of. We're going to do away with this. Now, in billing, we're going to do away with one area because it's redundant. If I come to here and I go to collect payments, and I view payments, now right here where it says all a receipt is, right, is a paid invoice. And we realize, over time, that this has confused people a little bit. My CEO is an accountant and a lawyer, and he's the guy who wrote the software. It's a very dangerous combination, the lawyer-accountant part. Well, in his world, receipt is a paid invoice, and an invoice, right, is not yet paid. This area has confused people. So what we're going to do is we're going to shortly get rid of this area right here. You're just going to record the payment. We're going to get rid of this area here because the whole receipt invoice thing tends to confuse people. So if I do email receipt from here, you notice there's no script, no text comes up. So we're shortly going to eliminate this. Once you've recorded the payment, you can come to here, hit export, invoice, and then you'll get the default invoice email. And we've decided it's going to simplify things a little bit. Okay. I'm going to pause if there's any questions. And it's a quick, short office hours. It's a great new feature, although it was very easy to cover. I think it's very easy to use, so there probably shouldn't be too many questions. It will be live and in the product tomorrow, again, barring a natural disaster. Again, this is Matt with Vetter Software. If you have any questions, you guys all know how to get a hold of me. Or please call support directly at 844-4VETTER. Ooh, we have a question. Yay. Oh. Uh-oh, the email received was one of my favorite features. Okay, that's important. So you know what? I like to hear that. Because maybe what we can do is maybe we can incorporate the two together. I'm going to take note of that. May I ask the lady or the gentleman who just wrote me, may I ask what clinic you are from?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Northbridge Equine.
Oh, I know you guys. I like you guys.
I hope.
Great. Okay, see, I'm making a plug for Northbridge Equine. See, the new feature's already working. Thanks. I will see, and the great thing is that between us gals, everyone who's listening, I can now tell my boss, because I like that feature too, by the way. I can say that there were many.
It definitely us because we don't see. We don't see our clients, like it's not an over the desk person to person.
Equine, right?
Mail in the check, and when I get the check 5 days later, I manually input it in to pay their invoice, and then without making that extra step of having to remember that once I've said that it's paid to have to go back in and export the invoice, it's all in one step for me where they get the receipt that says, I got your check, you are all paid up. You don't have to worry about calling me and asking me, did you get that check? Did I get my payment in? So it's been a huge...
it saves time. I get that.
Well, yeah, it's adapted very well for us to not have that extra step. If we need to have that extra step, it's not the end of the world, but it was really, really nice. Just, yes, email receipt. They now know that we got their check. It's not lost in the mail, whatever. It just made our clients much happier because they don't see us. They don't hand me the check put in. So
no, I'm familiar how the equine practice. Okay, no, thank you. So between us gals, everybody on office hours, I'm going to tell my boss that there was a resounding, how should I say, there was a resounding vote of yes to keep the email receipt feature. Christy, I see what Christy says. So we're all in agreement, right? Yes. So the great thing is that enhancement, so that hasn't been built yet. So we can tweak that enhancement. And good, we're in agreement here that yes, excellent. I like that we're on a team here. It hasn't been built yet. So you know what? It's still in kind of QA product review. So yeah, I can easily make this stay and enhance it so that you have the ability to include that same text. In other words, that same email message to maybe come right out of the payment instead of having to export it separately. All right, I see everyone agrees. All right, between us gals, we're on the same team. Good. One question from iShine. So when checking out a client through billing, it does not check out the patient on the schedule. Is there an easier way to check out the patient without going back to the census? So iShine, right now, you can check out a patient from the schedule and census. It's the same thing. If you click on any appointment, you have the ability, right? If you hover over the appointment or click on it, you have the ability to check them out there or from the census, either one. Now, coming very soon, we're going to include the same checkout feature in billing. Because right now in billing, you pay an individual invoice, right? So it doesn't show all of the invoices for a client. To make life easier for everyone, and this is coming in the next, I'd say 4 to 6 weeks. It's going to be here soon. We're going to have the ability to do the same checkout feature that you can do in the schedule and the census. It'll also be available in billing. So when you go to, it will. So iShine, when you check them out on the schedule, when in the future, you're right. Right now, if you invoice them through billing, it does not check them out. The reason is, and let me show you here. The reason is if I go to an invoice here, the client may have multiple invoices, right? So right now the software sees, invoice 2625. And I go to collect payment, right? It only sees one. It doesn't automatically pull up, right, all the other invoices the client has because it's just reading it as one invoice. So the checkout feature in the schedule and the census, right, pulls in everything together. This the new payment, in other words, we're going to add a checkout feature, the same thing to billing. It will allow you to check them out from there too. And then it will check them out from the schedule. You're right. Right now, it does not check someone out from the schedule. It's just recording payment. It's how the software was originally written. We realize that people love the checkout feature from the schedule and the census. So we're adding it to billing, and it will then simultaneously check the client out from the schedule. So I hope that helps. I hope that made sense, at least in my description. Okay, good. Are there any other questions before I go take some NyQuil? My wife's a doctor. She's ordered me to stay home. Okay. Thank you guys for your input. I really appreciate Northbridge speaking for the crowd. I will impress upon this because I agree with you entirely. This needs to this needs to stay in the product because it saves clicks. Thank you, everybody, for your time. The session is recorded and will be on office hours. And I wish you all a great rest of the day. Okay, take care. Thank you.